Hey everybody, welcome to the club. I'm your host Mars. This is the Upper 90 Club, a roundtable podcast where five friends discuss the Columbus Crew. On this episode, we're going to review the Hell is Real Derby Part 2, 0-0 edition from last night. We're going to look ahead to a 2-game week against Toronto away, and now I've already forgotten it, Orlando at home on Saturday. There it is.
Got him.
Hey, Ben.
And I was waiting
Ben's
for it
here.
I just threw my back out doing that.
Haas, Trey, and Mort are here. We'll do our predictions later. Say hey, guys.
Hello.
I threw my back out.
Good evening.
Oh, the pain.
Gotta go hospital.
Okay. Well, so how's it going, guys? Were you all together for the... Oh, no, Trey was not. But the three of you were at Mort's deck, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Phrasing.
How many people were on Mort's deck?
At times, upwards of 20 human beings.
Oh,
Half children.
that's a big deck.
Speaking of calling an ambulance.
So I saw some pictures from the viewing party. I'm jealous I was not there. I'm jealous I don't have the setup. Looked pretty nice. What was the occasion? Just the
Friendship.
the rivalry of it, or
Yeah. First annual, I guess.
First and
Hell is
last.
Real watch party.
they
First and last.
play-
Is this because we can't watch things together?
Because of the scores.
That was my thought. Yep.
Have we?
Or wasn't my
Man.
deck up to your liking?
The
Yeah, it
length
looked
was
nice.
solid
Okay.
for the
It looks-
people and the accommodations.
Yeah, it looks good in pictures. I mean,
We had $300 worth of food for like 4 people eating. It was a
insane
real
amount of food.
diabetes friendship time.
I'm glad I wasn't there.
Type 2.
Oh, okay. All right. I would have been good.
Yeah, you'd have been
I
fine.
got plenty of insulin on board. Yeah. Okay. Well, and I was incommunicado. We went to. You guys remember the band Fastball?
Oh, that's what you did. That was it?
They were playing we have a community center here.
Is it called The Way?
It's so specific. We have a community center here, and they were celebrating their 50th anniversary, and the headliner for this event was Fastball.
Oh man, who else was with them? Was it one of those like goofy lineups, or was like Vertical
No, it was
Horizon?
not a lineup, and it was not like I was expecting to. I was stressed out over parking. Like, oh, where are we going? We're gonna park. I mean, to be clear, I could have walked from my house, but like
Right.
I was trying to figure out how I was gonna do it, and we got there. There was plenty of parking, and it was only like half full,
How many people?
like 100.
I mean, I bet
I mean,
most
but it
people
is
have
more-
either never heard
Sa-
of Fastball or forgotten about them.
Same. Let me tell you, it was the same venue as my kids' dance recital, and they packed it. There's like
Well, yeah.
Dance recitals,
Only-
man. It's hard to get tickets
Wow.
for those things.
Yeah,
shots fired
yeah.
at fastball.
No,
Fast.
hey, but no, they were great. They were great. They sounded great. But there was just an interesting kind of thing because if you know anything about Fastball, you know that like the two songs. They had the two songs.
I know The Way. What was the other
the
one?
the way, and then the other one is Out
Not
of
Way
My
Herman
Head.
though. My
It
dude.
Yeah, no, not to be confused with Way Herman, but
Some people were confused.
the other song is out of my head, out of my mind.
Out of my head.
You know, out of my
Get
head.
out of my head and
No.
into my
My
car.
car.
I love that
No.
song.
Great song.
But no, so there's just an interesting phenomenon because you have this band where like they were like really famous, but they only had a couple hits. And so the result of that is that we watched them play like for an hour, like songs that no one knew. And then they like ended the show with the two songs that everyone knows.
Okay.
You know, so-
No encore?
I did do an encore. They did do after the way. They did an encore.
Did they just play The Way again? They're like, here it is
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. we made up our minds and we started playing this song again. Anyway, so we did that. I'm telling you all this, man. I'm taking it a long way. I know I have a bad habit of this, but so we like watched the show. We got home. I put the game on, and we had like kind of pregame for the big fastball bash anyway. So we were predisposed to falling asleep during the viewing. I did not, but Lauren did. And so then this morning, the very first thing I said to her was, "You want to know how the game ended?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, 0-0. And then just before we got on here, I was like walking out into the office, and she said, "Are you going to go talk about the humiliating defeat of the Crew?" And I was like, 0-0? Like, is that bad? And she goes, "You said it was 0-2." And we decided that she had fallen back asleep so quickly before I had said the other 0 that she's like, "I've been pissed all day because I thought that we lost 0-2."
Narcoleptic Lauren. Narco-Lauren.
Anyway, so it was a late one. I didn't start watching it till very late, and then it was later when it ended.
That damn shouldn't stink at all, by the way, Ben.
I'd tell, no, it's terrible. I'd tell my wife, she'd just be like, "Okay, is that baseball?" And I'm like, "No, it's fastball." No, it's soccer.
All right, so let's jump into this one. Trey, take it away.
Hey, what happened?
Facts that could save your life.
All right, Saturday, September 15th, 2024, in Gary's Tickle Lair, the Crew faced off against the second best team in Ohio in front of a reported 25,513. The weather was a beautiful 80 degrees at kick with the southern wind blowing off the Ohio River. The Crew led in the majority of statistical categories, including total shots 11-3, shots on target, big chances, corners, touches in Cincy's box, and possession was split 50-50 by the end of the game, but the advantage in feels like went to the Crew with an XG of 1.26 to Tucky's 0.24.
The Crew's lineup was Rossi, Cucho, and Ramirez up top, Arfston, Nagby, Matan, and Farsi across the middle, Zawadzki, Camacho, Marrera in the back, with Schulte in goal.
13th minute, Columbus with the build-up, starting with Farsi, who plays it central to Ramirez, who plays the give-and-go back out to Farsi on the right, who drives it forward, then plays the ball down and behind the Cincy defender to an on-running Cucho, who draws the central defender in before slotting it across to Diego at the back post. Unfortunately, he was a step behind and wasn't able to put it on frame.
We did a lot of mental gymnastics to be like, that wasn't Rossi's fault. It was kind of hard to get to, but I just rewatched it and I was like, he should have got
that.
He probably should have.
Yeah.
It was a little out in front of him.
It was.
That's what we were saying, but I don't know, man.
But he's a professional. Hey, I wanted to talk about the quick lineup. Was it that Chaberco was not listed? Is he injured
stayed
or something?
home.
He didn't travel with the team.
Right.
He had neck soreness.
Yeah, he would. He said, "Tip of the hat real loud." He threw his neck out,
you
just
took
like
that
I
joke
did.
from me.
Oh man, it's like I'm looking in the mirror with Chaberco because of the bad
right.
neck.
18th minute, Columbus with the pressure creating the turnover off of a Cincinnati header. Ramirez gained the possession and plays it out to the right channel for Cucho, who then proceeds to undress the entire Cincinnati defense and slots a pass with the outside of his right foot to Ramirez, who's breaking through the line. Ramirez with the shot, but Celentano with the big one-on-one save.
Yeah, man,
That ball.
that whole thing from Cucho, I was like,
Incredible. And what's with Celentano's mustache?
the Pink Panther villain.
He looks like a man-child. Anybody else?
Zorro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Zorro.
he's like he's just begging his body to grow up. and
Right.
it just won't.
yeah. He wants to be put on the no-fly list because of his face, and he did it.
He's like Tom Hanks and Big.
But he didn't get laid,
Yeah.
which
No-
still upsets me. Anyways,
you know. All right.
he was a child. Oh no! Right? We're all on the same page.
26th minute, Marrera with the pressure, and he coughed it up to Kevin, who shoots it wide right of an outstretched Schulte. Probably Cincinnati's best look of the half. We go into halftime 0-0. The first notable thing in the second half would be in the 52nd minute, the head-on-head collision with Joaquin
Brutal.
Macho.
Ouchie.
Both
God,
substantial
bloodbath.
bleeding profusely, and it halted play for about 8 minutes.
Yeah, they zoomed way in, and I was just like,
Yeah,
whoa.
why did they do that?
And the funniest part, we were all like, ooh, and then Haas, what did you say? You're like, I'm not doing so good. He doesn't do well with the
I
blood.
was fine, but I
Yeah,
can
on the
get
big screen,
triggered.
that nose was
Can get
like
triggered.
2
He was
feet
like-
long. So I went to the games with Finn this morning, and there's this guy from I want to say he's from Macedonia, and then one dad he said like, "Yeah, did you see that nose? It was slit in the middle. You should put a hot dog in it."
Typical Macedonians putting hot dogs in things. You know
we
what I
support
mean?
Macedonians.
I know nothing.
So, 62nd minute, the crew with the build-up down the right with Farsi, who cuts it inside and plays it back outside to Ramirez, who lofts one into the 18 for the waiting head of Cucho, who then heads it right over the Cincinnati goal.
Yeah, you should have done better.
Yeah, he should have put that on for him for sure. 68th, Cucho with the yellow for Columbus after a missed call that it was called against him on Powell. Complete crap, but Cucho got the yellow because he was yelling at everybody.
Yeah, but if they wasn't there, he
The
would
yellow.
have gotten the ball back like on the corner of the 6.
Oh yeah,
Like it was like an opportunity. Like he had every right to be pissed. That was a terrible miscall.
Yeah, I mean it was a missed call. So 78th minute, Cincinnati with the hard foul on Cucho earning the yellow. 82nd, Crew subs in Amundsen for Matan and DeJuan Jones for Arston. 83rd, you've got Jack and Russell Rowe comes in for Ramirez.
I forgot about Jack.
85th, Marrero with the hard cross into the Cincy box where Senor Russell Rowe swings his pecs and directs the ball on goal, forcing Celentano to come up with the save.
Almost scored with his heart.
That was incredibly awkward. The way he got that on goal was
It was
I
a
have no
TikTok
idea.
dance.
Kind of a lucky save too.
Swings his
Yeah.
pecs is a really nice nugget.
That's exactly what
You
it
had
was.
yeah, good nugget. Ugh, I don't know.
87th minute, Marcelo Herrera comes in for Farsi. And in the 88th, Jackin taken down from behind by Obina, who earns Tucky's second yellow of the game. With 8 minutes of stoppage, nothing else happened. It ends 0-0. Columbus still on 50 points now, with 14 wins, 5 losses, and 8 draws, still sitting behind Cincinnati, who is on 52 points. Both teams clinch playoff berths with this result.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Does Miami have the supporter shield locked up?
No.
Not locked
Everyone's
up, but
talking about it like it's done.
it is kind of.
I don't.
would,
Yeah.
They would have to go on a losing streak for them.
Is there any way they could miss the playoffs?
No.
Go back and listen to our bold predictions from before the season started.
Emphasis on bold.
Okay. Man. Yeah. I don't know. It's
It's a weird
getting the draw away at Cincinnati. That's a good result. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Clean sheet. We should have won. We looked better. We were expected to be better.
Man, I mean, 15 minutes in was the Cucho cross to Rossi. And then, what was it, 2 minutes later was
That slot.
Cucho,
pass,
like,
yeah.
silly pants the entire team. And, like, I was like, okay, cool. 2 minutes or 17 minutes in, and we have two of, like, absolutely destroying their team. Like, there's no way we're not going to win this game. And
that said, it's when we get back to it, we never felt like we really clicked like we know
No.
we can, and control the play like we know we can.
Well, I mean, I think a lot
Those
of
like
that
short periods. But
yeah, a lot of it had to do with their. I mean, they tactically went out and fouled us. A lot of fouls, 18 fouls committed.
yeah, and I think they had like 10 when Kucher got the yellow card because he was getting a little cranky.
No,
I mean,
they had
A
what did
yellow
we say?
needed to come out
We had
earlier.
14 when that happened because we
Yeah.
looked it up.
yeah, 14 and we had 7 or something like that. They had twice as many as us.
Yeah. And I think they spread it around because I was trying to figure out who was fouling. I was like, there's got to be somebody on like 3 fouls or something like that. And it was like, they kept being somebody different. It was just slowing down the game. It was frustrating.
Yeah,
It's like frustrating
By
result.
the way, did all right too. I didn't think it was.
We weren't clicking, but I'll tell you what, I mean, since he was on a skid prior to this, and I don't see them. I mean, if Acosta is not on that team, this team does not make the playoffs at this point.
Well,
Right.
I think
They were not good.
for them, I mean, they were really holding on for dear life in this game.
Oh, yeah, especially at the end.
You know,
50-50. That's crazy.
and I think they had the advantage, like 56-44 or something, 52.
Yeah, they were freaking out about it. The broad Twelman was.
It
God,
didn't
he's
feel
annoying.
Yeah.
Guys.
And I think I heard them say maybe last time when they were in Columbus they had the possession advantage, but
By the way, speaking of 12-man,
Yeah.
you fact brought up that he sounds like Sylvester during
Yeah.
the coverage.
Succotash.
Now I can't unhear it.
It's so funny. I'm like, he's got to be like spitting on his mic. It's got to be like drenched by the end.
he said front foot like 7 times before the first kick. It was very obnoxious. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. We do have some things to cover from the internet.
That silly
and
rabbit hole.
Thoughts and players. We don't have a Cirque stat for this week, so let's take a break now, and when we come back, we'll cover the other stuff.
We'll be your trap.
This episode of the Upper 90 Club is brought to you, as always, by Supporter Supply Company. Hi, friends, this is your good pal Morgan Hughes, here to talk to you about a serious issue facing 96% of all crew supporters in Columbus. Why, not enough free shipping, of course. For a limited time now, through the eventual heat death of the universe, Upper 90 Club listeners can use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z on the end of it, at checkout for free delivery on absolutely any order over $10. But Morgan, what if I order $10 worth of stickers, or those goddamned buttons, or some other combination of small items that make you want to kill yourself? Will the free shipping still apply then, even as you curse our family, while you package up our little tiny annoying ass order for us? Of course it will. That's just how much we here at Supporter Supply value our friends at the Upper 90 Club. So head on over to supportersupply.co and use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z at checkout for free shipping on all your orders over $10. And don't forget to tell them that your friends at the Upper 90 Club sent ya.
All right, we're back. We talked about the
1997 Billboard hits. Oh, boy.
the perception.
A rough time.
We have a real bad habit on this podcast of continuing the break discussion after the break.
Yeah. And we also have the bad habit that we all smoke cigarettes. Just kidding. We don't smoke. We would never.
All right. We were talking about whether our perception of the result and whether it was good, et cetera, et cetera. But Trey mentioned we did clinch a playoff berth, which I would seemed inevitable, but that's good, right?
Yeah,
Well, it's 2/3 of the teams make the playoff now. So getting into the playoffs doesn't mean anything. It also means that you don't get necessarily a bye either. And I think for us, the only thing that counts now, a success from here on out, is clinching second place.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I mean, ideally catch Miami, which won't happen. Let's be realistic. I don't think that's going to happen. I'd rather us being like ready to go for the playoffs and just be smart about it and try to get that home field advantage. But I guess it won't really matter if you get second or third if you play all the way through the tournament, because you will have to be.
Only difference will be is if
Cincinnati beats Miami.
No, is if we can come in second over Cincinnati, then we will host Cincinnati at home in that game, which I think could make a difference.
In a
But
semi,
wouldn't Cincinnati then place Miami as the lower
correct.
seed?
Say what?
Wouldn't Cincinnati in that case be playing?
No, if they're third, it'd be like
If
1 and
they're third, they'll
4,
play
2,
two.
3.
Yeah. So we would host. That's an important.
Oh yeah,
That's an important place to be because it's the opposite of what happened last year, right? We played we played the. How did that work?
Yeah, but Cincy also they
ended up playing them in a conference final. We were third.
Well, they were.
I would also say this: if
they were number one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
if we host a lot of playoff games, my kids will get no Christmas presents
Good.
because that will have no money
Orlando. Orlando was number 2.
left.
Yeah. Because we had to go to Orlando. At
Oh,
the
we earned our way all the way up.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, my only thing is like tying and then having Miami win that game. I really want to play in the Club World Cup. And I have a feeling that Dong is going to come out and say, okay, the Supporters Shield winner of last year is taking that last spot.
That's
and
all he needs.
It will be Miami.
That's all I need.
So I was thinking like halfway through this game, I was like, man, if Cincy loses or wins, I'm going to be bummed. But at that point, I've got to be all in on Cincy to win because I really don't want that to be – because I have a feeling if Cincy were to win the Shield, he would have us go play the Club World Cup. Does that make sense? But because Miami's going to win the Shield, he will say, well, obviously they're going to take the last spot, so
well, but
kick
point
rocks,
for point,
crew.
yeah, I hear you. You want somebody to beat Miami.
Yeah, somebody's
but
gotta
point
catch
for
them. They're
point,
not, but
if we were to if we would have won, we would still have a game in hand over Cincy and be above them.
yeah, we needed to win.
Needed to win that stinking game.
That's what I'm saying is like a tie does for me does no good Supporters Shield wise, and the only reason why Supporters Shield matters to me is like I would love to play in the Club World Cup.
I guess that's why it hurts. I think that's why we're saying like we had a tie here. Normally, if it was game 5 in the season and we went there and it's tied, we'd be like, yeah, you know what? Get a tie that's
Sure.
pretty good. Now it's kind of like down the wire where we need to win like every game to actually stand a chance to catch up. And it feels like a double whammy because normally it will be probably fine to come in second, third, whatever else for the playoff. But this year feels extra because we feel like Dong is going to take any opportunity to screw us.
We probably could have won the Supporters Shield if we didn't play 100,000 games and get screwed by playing like 20 midweek games and having our guys like
we can't
fly
be totally
everywhere.
blind to the fact. I know this is early, nothing is said and done, but that Miami is a pretty goddamn good team.
They are.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's just frustrating.
Yeah, it's also frustrating because it seems like no rules applies.
Don't.
Crew has 7 games left of league play. For them to make up the points difference, I mean,
unlikely. If
you got to win all of them and hope that Miami loses
out,
2.
Yeah,
including the one.
I mean, we do play them, so that's a big swing. But at this point, personally, I'm just looking at it going, let's get the best seeding that we can and try and get home field as far as we can.
And take the cup.
And then deal with Miami when we meet them.
I have an important announcement. It's more of a personal announcement, but
oh boy,
I'm going to that Miami game, guys.
You shut your mouth.
Yeah.
I have remitted payment for the ticket. And all I have left to do is put some gas in the car and drive. So, see you guys there.
Holy cow.
We brokered a deal.
Nice.
Involved some bourbon.
Yeah. So, I'm excited about that. We don't need to spend any more time on it. I just wanted to let you know. I'm very excited.
So, everybody come and meet Mars at the Miami game?
I have not been to a game since the inaugural lower game in July of 2021.
Wow.
Yep.
Really?
I haven't been to a home game. Yeah. I've been to all the Chicago games.
Oh.
So I think things are changing on the home front. We're finding it like we can kind of get out of the house a little more. So I've been encouraged to do this by my better half, and I'm going to do it.
We're going to start spending us some money for gas, and you're going to come down
Yeah, I mean,
a couple times a year now.
Yeah, I would love that. The trips, the gas money, I'd love that too. Game or no game, just send me money, please. I need money.
This is a long con.
I got 4 daughters. Send me money, please.
This podcast was a way for me to get gas money.
You drive a Prius.
Yeah,
it's fine. We got
Yeah.
you. That's like a tank and a half.
Yeah. When we came down for that, when I traveled for Ben's show, we'll say.
Yeah.
It was like $20. It's not expensive to drive. Okay, so let's keep things moving. So we talked table, but I want to get into our thoughts and players.
Thoughts and players.
So first, what do you guys think about Matan being in the middle versus Zawadzki, who was filling in at left back?
Man, I think in hindsight, I mean, originally I was fine with it, but now I kind of wish he would have played Amundsen and played Zawadzki in the middle. I felt like Matan was it felt off. It felt off through the middle. It just felt like he wasn't. It just felt disjointed, between the lines. That's what I felt. All the big plays and all the fun stuff was like when we got it up to Cucho, but I think Matan had a great game. I just prefer him as like, oh, we need a goal or we need some more offense. Let's switch things up, and then he goes in the middle, and we switch up stuff.
To your point, I thought he had a solid game.
He did,
but it seems almost a little bit of waste of Zawadzki when you do have Amundsen to put him back there, not having. I think gives more balance, and like I said, we never got into a rhythm where we kind of controlled the play and kind of took control of the pace of the game. It was more erratic. It wasn't we created some chances and things, but it was more not like we used to see, where we say like 50 passes in and out, back and forth, and create something for it. It was like over the top, into the back, Cucho dribbling two guys and finding somebody open, right? And I think maybe if we had Zawadzki and Nagby in the middle together, we'd probably have some more of that. On the other side, his partner Nagby, again, seemed to be sometimes a little bit of step. I'm not hating on Nagby; he does so much right, but he had some. He had a couple of passes that was like he totally. When Nagby misses a pass, he makes sure it's like properly missed. Like pass it directly to their player.
Yeah, he did have he had one.
And he had one that went out of bounds too. He had one to their player and one that was like straight out of the sideline or something like that. So,
and I think that might also be a little bit because he doesn't have a partner in crime sitting next to him. That's my frustration watching Aiden play sometimes with the men's national team, is they just like put him as a 6 and no one around him, and it's like, well, that's not how he thrives. But I think it does speak to having Matan in there, and all of a sudden it's, at that one point Cincinnati had more possession, and also at the end of the game they had 20 more passes than us. We only had 322. I think we average, when like Aiden and Zawadzki are in there, between like 450 and 600. So like not having that extra 100 passes definitely it is because we switched the middle up.
It may be a little bit of a concern, the fact that we have Jones. We can tuck in there, and but we clearly don't trust him. Because he doesn't give a whole lot. We never plug him in unless it's like we have no options or it's done and dusted, or if just to try to ride something out. But we have Zawadzki, which is a potato, as we talked about before. It can play a little bit everywhere, but we don't have a set other alternative.
I'm going to say that he's not a great goalie.
Yeah, he's not a great goalie. That's the one thing.
Yeah, it's like he's a potato on the field.
Yeah.
Field potato.
But right now we have a lot of outside backs and defenders, but in the midfield again. After Morris left, I wish we had somebody coming in that would be a better alternative in the middle.
Yeah, and we talked about Dwan Jones coming in too. I didn't think he actually played that great. I thought for sure when he came on, I was like, he's going to have that little magic little zing-zang, and he's going to put a goal in or something like that, and it's going to be over, and I'm just going to like take my pants off and do TikTok dances. But
yeah, but I think we discussed this before.
Deck.
It takes.
I was waiting.
All right,
all night.
I think some of that will come.
There.
They got to learn down in the plums. Okay.
More. We've interrupted you a couple times. Please try one more time.
No, it can't be very interesting. So just move ahead.
Okay. So I see there's a quote from Schulte. Who wants to do their Schulte impression?
I don't know, but I can read it.
Do your American accent.
I did live in Missouri.
There you
Missouri
go. Yeah.
for a while.
You got it.
So
Show me.
he said,
Show
Schulte post-match said, "This is a tough place to play," Crew goalkeeper Patrick Schulte said of Tickle Stadium. "Even though they didn't score, it's a game that you can feel like you should and want to win. And we could have won. It's hard to describe, and I definitely feel like the vibe in the locker room weren't great, I will say." And I mean, like, to that point,
Just one note. No one in Missouri says "wibes." So
vibes style, that's me. Vibes. Yeah, I don't know why I say that.
Is that a soft V?
Yes, it's like jogging and jogging.
yeah.
Wives.
So I feel like they're feeling like we're feeling, in the sense that, like, normally it might not. It's a 0-0. We don't let in a goal at a difficult place to play. But you know what? Really would have liked that victory, and probably at this point we should have probably had that victory.
Yeah, he's saying vibes were bad in the locker room post game, right? Not like
Yeah, the
That's how
vibes in
I
the locker room
read it.
weren't great.
Yeah.
I will say that.
they're frustrated.
good. Okay, which makes sense. I mean, I was frustrated too. I was like, we probably
He
should've-
also raves about the continuation of that. Raves about the defensive line in front of him that makes it possible to keep the 0 back there.
And he said he owes Camacho dinner for that save off the line.
yeah.
Yep.
And Herrera did give up that. That
was
one.
bad.
It was like pretty bad. I mean, but again, Schulte had like 2 or 3 really good saves, and we shut Acosta
Rivera-
down, man. I mean, for the most part, I mean that he's got to be.
He is good. That's a different conversation. But yeah, the Morvera error totally gave me a flashback to Farsi error last year. Like
Yeah.
very early in that playoff game last
Which
year.
gave you flashbacks to Quentin. So
Yeah.
Who just scored? Congratulations. Last
on the
week.
field,
Okay, so you mentioned TQL.
tick of your time.
I've heard Trey call it the tickle.
That is good.
I like that. There's been a lot of talk about what that could actually stand for, and it's on the internet. So let's read it.
All right, internet. Let's go. Let's start with the massive from Failed Time Traveler. Time for our annual tradition. What does TQL stand for? Wrong answers only. So some of the examples they had were Tired Quitter Lucho by Ad Super 3942.
Nice.
The Quantifiable Lesser by Defiant Equipment 52. I thought that was pretty good. Last year's winner was Ties and Quality Losses, which I thought was funny. My favorite one of all of those is Taking QAnon Literally by Seldom Seen 31.
Yeah, JD.
Those are all really great. But yeah, we posed before. Does everybody have like an idea of what they were thinking? And there's a bunch of others that I didn't list here, but I liked it. So who's got one?
I mean, I got one. I was thinking they named it after Acosta and called it Tiny Quirky Leprechaun.
Taste the rainbow.
Yeah, he sounds like that. I heard him in the post game.
I thought of Tiny Quiet Lads.
I love that.
Quiet Lads.
Yeah. Also could be Acosta. Could be just the statue of the vibe. Stature of the vibe.
Stature.
The statue of the limitations of the vibes. Unpack that one.
Talk about quiet real quick. Like, I was surprised. If there's a rivalry game, hell is real in Columbus, in the start of the game, I can swear everybody in the stands up and are into the game. everybody except for their supporter section were having their butts in their seats, as I call it, right?
But you
So
love
that's one
butts and
thing.
I
seats.
saw a picture.
But you know what I liked is the 4 dudes that was in camera all the time.
Oh, I
The
loved
front row
that.
in the corner.
Yeah.
Those
That
guys
was
were
really good.
awesome.
Cucho didn't have to get in that ref's face. Those guys were like equidistant away, and I'm sure they were just giving him all the hell.
I saw a picture on Twitter where 5 minutes before the match started, someone in the Nordex, traveling Nordex section, sent a picture. And
There was like nobody.
So many seats were empty.
So was that 5 minutes before the game or 5 minutes after the game? Or
That
like
was
5
the,
minutes?
That was the Fastball Concert.
Oh,
Go ahead.
wow. Fastball catching strays.
Well, those guys weren't quiet guys. So, or lads.
This is the way. Okay. I've been holding on to that one. No one got it. Okay. Crap. So mine was, I looked up TQL as far as like a flights, like you know how like Columbus is like CMH or whatever.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
TQL is just
Airport
this
codes.
yeah, I'm a real big airport guy. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah.
Big fan of airports. And TQL is like North Russia, so I'm just calling it Russia.
Okay.
It's probably Siberia, but
The Queen's losers.
Oh, sure. Wow.
makes
I-
sense.
It's
They are
something
the
Queen related.
the Queen City.
I
one of
had
17.
turd quality low. is that something? Is there something there?
I
From
think the
all the
current quality is
Skyline.
high. Or
Yeah.
I like turd.
Quantity is high. Yeah.
quantity.
Well,
yeah.
it's not solid though, so
Right. Yeah.
So
The Skyline,
Turd-
guys.
Yeah, turd
It's all
quality
that
liquid.
Skyline and Geta. It does bad things.
third quality liquid.
I'm trying to use
I
L
know, I
for
was to
loofah.
punch up all my jokes.
Mort supported that one.
Yeah, it
Mort
sounds all
support?
over it. Yeah, Mort support.
More support supply.
Okay. What else we got on the internet?
Yeah, we
wait, hold
derailed.
on. I didn't even get mine. What?
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought you what?
Well, okay, so I always call it the tickle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Earlier, I referred to it as Gary's tickle layer because Gary is their lion that they put on everything.
Yeah, Gary. It's the most stupid name ever,
Yeah.
by the way.
Wait,
So
I'm going to hard disagree
No,
with
for,
that.
for,
I've heard some. I've heard some.
let me
stupid
clarify
names.
for all my friends that I have that is named Gary, including my father-in-law.
hey, my father-in-law's named
Itself
Gary, too.
isn't a stupid name, but it's a stupid name for a mascot.
I was going to give you.
Gary's, they're all idiots.
They are.
My father-in-law. That's why I hate it.
Look at that, Morton. We got a lot.
time
We have
listener,
something
my
in common.
father-in-law, Gary.
BetterHelp.com is sponsored by
Oh, we don't need that.
to
Mine's
unpack
bad.
all your family.
All right. So my acronym is going with the Quitting Linders because their owner is Carl Lindner.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm going with
Oh,
the
you went
Quitting
deep with that
turd
one.
quality
Linders.
linders. Like linders, like the like the
Like the-
chocolates.
No, like
Yes.
Johnson
Yes.
and Johnson. Is that right?
No,
You know,
it's the
linders like
chocolate.
Johnson and
It's the
Johnson?
chocolate.
I do
It's
not know
the
that.
chocolate. It's the chocolate.
No, they. What are they?
Is it a silent Q?
They're extremely rich. So
Oh
It's-
yeah,
It's definitely the chocolate.
man.
Definitely
yeah,
the chocolate.
turd has got to be the first word, and I
Okay.
really like loofah for the L. I can't
oh,
figure.
he's not that rich.
Q is like
Third
Q is
quality.
hard.
turd QAnon loofahs. I really like QAnon. All right, we can move on.
Anywho,
But let's circle back on Gary.
Let's not.
That's the
Yeah,
stupidest
Dad,
name.
we grew up.
No,
with
I
think I
Gary,
nearly just like.
and we all called him Gare Bear.
I heard you say that, Trey, at the beginning. What did you say again? What was it? Tickle.
Gary's tickle layer.
Gary's tickle air.
No,
Yeah.
Lair.
Lair.
Like his tickle
Lair.
It's too hard.
Tickle it.
Yeah,
like a backstage
I was
twist.
just like, I was just kind of letting you like operate at a level above my brain power. I was like, yeah, he's got it, man. He's got it. Gary's tickle air. It's like too smart for me. I love it.
I will give them kudos on their tifo. Was pretty
kudos
good.
smell-
So about that.
Wait, what are you going to complain about? The picture where they actually got all the fans to hold things up?
Looks great.
No, I didn't know anything about that. No
comment.
The famous guitar player for Tackass pointed out that it was an AI generated image. So they just typed some stuff into AI and then they just recreated it. I mean, it looks sweet, but I was like, he was pointing out the different stuff, like the hands, how it did it, the way the horns. I was just like, somebody just
did the hand have
typed
like
it.
six fingers and stuff?
It did. But I guess it was the devil, and the devil's got a bunch of fingers.
Wait, hold on. I'm trying to find the picture of it because that's...
Trust me about this devil thing.
There, I'll send you. Yeah, if you're Chris Blaine pointed out, circled the things. It's extremely legit, and I trust him with my life and my wife
and my wife.
Is it a big deal? I see it. So now for the listener, we're looking at it. We're looking at it. It's Sin City. All the fans are holding up, like surrounding the tifo. They're holding up like a
I didn't even recognize
cards
that.
or something.
Yeah.
That
didn't notice
set
that.
a backdrop for the tifo. It says, "You'll never leave, Gary."
Gary the Devil Lion.
The Devil Lion is like a kind of he's kind of leaning over this cartoonish little like Disney-esque crew cat, and it says Sin City, CIN City.
You'll never leave Sin
I think it looks
City.
I think they did a good job.
Yeah.
AI or not.
Nobody wants your opinion.
There's some like hate
and they've
coming
got the
back on them.
dice 2-1. They got the dice score as the previous score.
It was sweet. I mean, this is great. I mean,
I was more impressed by the surrounding of the tifo versus the actual production of like what they built.
it looks
What
good.
they hung, but
All right, let's move on.
That's great for a 0-0.
Mort is done with that one.
What are we talking about? Art? Move on.
What else we got?
Last thing we have up here that I think we forgot to touch on last time. Maybe it was a while ago, but Kelly Ann Stitz on Twitter said, well, she quoted Cucho saying, "I want to be captain." And it's a video of Cucho speaking in English, and he's been working on his English because he, like he said, he wanted to be captain. In the last 6 months, Cucho has made a lot of progress holding full conversations in English. Did you guys listen to the video of him speaking? It sounds great.
I didn't get to it.
was it just a Taco Bell menu?
No, I wish. And that's a callback to he actually had Taco Bell for the first time during his timeout when Nazi put him on timeout, and he loves Taco Bell. And I don't blame him because I had $18 of Taco Bell 2 days ago by myself.
We didn't really talk about how he was called up to Columbia and didn't make the bench for 2 games.
So he was the only one that got called up and didn't make the bench, right?
They called up too many people.
They know not to do that, right? I feel like that's... I'll still hold that. Who is their main striker?
Diaz.
I'm sorry, the old guard. He just I thought he just retired.
I mean, James.
Yeah.
Rodriguez. Dude, I mean, Cucho's better than him at this point. He's got to be.
Yeah, but that's why Diaz is the starter.
Well, but James made the bench both times. And he didn't. That's why I'm just like, why even have him on there if Cucho...
He will play in the Diaz role, and let's be real, Diaz is pretty good.
Yeah, we're talking about Diaz who plays for Liverpool. Just FYI.
But we also talked about how Cucho wouldn't necessarily be staffed as a striker for Colombia, right?
Well,
not as like a number 9. He'd be a winger.
But here's my call now. Now they pissed him off. He didn't get playing time. He's speaking English.
He didn't even get sitting time.
One-time switch.
One-time switch. He get his citizenship. You know,
and for the other team,
or marrying a proper American like some of us.
A good country girl.
Yeah, from Ohio.
Are you saying he's eligible?
Probably not. No.
No, probably not.
US?
But I'm just saying that he could be.
Acosta just switched.
Yeah. I didn't want to mention that, but yeah,
I thought about that.
I probably would have taken him on the national team. Actually.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But let's not talk about that. Let's just move on.
Let's talk about how Talk About sounds so much like Taco Bell, because you guys kind of flipped me earlier.
We got to stop talking about Taco Bell. I'm so hungry.
Yo quiero talk about something else. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Hello, Adam Hernandez here, fellow crew fan and Columbus-based artist, muralist, and designer. When I'm not making art, I'm looking at art. And when I'm looking at art, I want it to come to life. That's why I made my new augmented reality prints. What's an augmented reality print, you may ask? Well, I make my really cool psychedelic art come to life in the palm of your hand. Check out my website, ahernandezart.com, or at ahernandezart to learn more. They're really rad. ahernandezart.
Hey guys, thanks for having me again. This is Carlos with the review of how the Crew 2, the Capybaras, did this weekend. Unfortunately, I come with bad news. They lost to FC Cincinnati 2 in Northern Kentucky by 2-1 in a game where they didn't really look that good, to be honest. FC Cincinnati scored first right in the beginning of the first half, and the Cappies had a really hard time breaking through the hard pressure and also connecting in the midfield. I think that because of how our roster is constructed this year, we've had to use Owen Presses as a left center back or right center back at times. And he is much better, in my opinion, when he plays in the right wing back or left wing back position, because he's more of a creator. His ability to create chances with incredible crosses and nice shots, I think, overweighs how good he is. And he's a good defender. Luckily for us, I think that this might be changing soon. We have a new old face join the Capybaras, and that was a surprise for even us who follow them closely. Abubakar Keita, I think a lot of Crew fans remember him, came back to the Crew after being cut by Colorado recently, and I think that he's going to slot, and he did play as a sub. He came in as a sub last night, and he did play in the left center back position. Unfortunately, he came in place of Owen Presses. I think another couple highlights that I like to see is the Ibrahim side. One of the new signings played really well again in the center midfield position, and I thought that Sid Mohan, who is also a new signing, is showing a lot of potential, and I want to see him start on the wing a little bit more to maybe give us a different spark. He's a very direct player. He's very good, and he has a very large frame too. So I think that helps, especially given that the Crew 2 is one of the youngest teams in the league. So have someone who has a little bit more physicality in the field will help us. The other highlight, and of course the MVP for the Crew 2 that game, was again Chase Adams. He continues to impress. He scored our only goal. His work rate is unmatched right now. It is really cool to see him develop every game, and I am really excited to see how he does in the future. The Crew 2, this was for us. This was a game that I really wish would have won, because it would have clinched the playoff position for us, and it would have put us in a good place to be first of the East. And that didn't happen. But fortunately, we have 3 games left, 2 of them at our home, and I'm confident that we can get 3 wins. So let's do it. We're in 6th right now. We dropped 3 positions after the loss last night, but I think that we can recover and be at least a top 3, if not better, depending on other results as the season ends. Thank you very much. Make sure you register to vote, and thanks, Ben.
All right, we're back. Thanks, Bird.
Thanks, Bird.
Thanks, Bird.
Put a bird on it.
It was disappointing.
Portlandia. No, look at that.
It plausibly was a bad job.
It was, it was plausible. Plausibly, we could have done better.
Yep.
I wonder if
Burger?
Taha's
We could have
red
done burger.
transfers. Birder? Yeah, turn your phone up. Make sure it's not going off.
I wonder how that works with the red.
With the
drop
red,
down to next pro.
Yeah, I
bummer.
mean, lately it doesn't seem to matter much. He hasn't got a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
So
We haven't been blowing out teams.
I was hoping to see a lot more of him this year. I haven't
was
seen
too.
it. And the little I have seen hasn't been overly impressive, but he's pretty young still, though.
I thought it was pretty good. I didn't think it was bad.
No,
but it was just so little.
Yeah.
But whatever. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. Heck is plausible. Do you guys remember what we did in the first game? The first crew?
Heck.
Oh, heck. Oh, crap. Speaking of the Run Club, someone did say, oh, crap, and I just saw it like recently. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, we're gonna do a Run Club update. I don't remember what the heck happened earlier this season with the Crew 2. But yeah, let's do the Run Club. We have some big announcements. We got the kit. The race kit for those participating in the Columbus Marathon, half marathon, 5K, family fun, 1 mile walk.
Turkey
there
trot.
Must be one of those. Turkey trot later.
Santa Claus jingle or whatever.
Yeah, the race kit is just in time. I feel like we could have had it available sooner, but it's available now. And we posted the link, right?
Yeah, we're gonna push it some more.
Supporter Supply.
Supportersupply.co. It's up there, and we're gonna do like all the major runs moving forward. I mean, somebody probably will. I'm injured, but we're still gonna do it. Despite what my doctor says.
And major runs
money
include
how
selling it online. People want them on Reddit.
Oh, that's right.
They're
the
asking
bibs
to buy them from people.
Yeah, it's sold out. So the marathon and the half marathon sold out at this point, which is a bummer. But we will do marathon. Yeah, we'll do some others. There is a 24-hour race I'm going to do where it's just a 1 mile loop. That's in March, and it's about to go live, and I'll probably have more. I'll probably force more to do.
Yeah,
it.
You know what? I was thinking about
Dude,
that,
such
and
a fun
I
race.
totally decided that I 100% not going to do that.
Yeah, it's rough. You don't have to run. You can run like 1 mile and call it. It's just like it's 1 mile loop. You can run it up to 24 hours. I usually there's
So what's the
there.
record? How many miles have been run?
My buddy Troy has the top 2, and I think he had like 130 some.
That is
and
sick.
Yeah, he's ranked in the world.
I know Stacy ran like 100 miles in like 21 hours.
Yeah, he was able to sustain like a 9-minute 10-second mile for 24 hours. It's I can barely do 9:10 in one.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So Morris,
Wow.
I wasn't sure if you're going to do a shout out, but
I am.
To Ben Van Skoy. That was talking about he joined the club and he is going to flaunt the running kit in Austin, of all places, because that's where he live, and I just love that.
It's not Kevlar, but
yeah, I know. Yeah. Be safe.
It's sweat wicking. Yeah, not yet.
But I do love the idea of somebody running around the streets of Austin with a upper 90 club.
Yeah, give the shout outs. We have some more shout outs.
Yeah,
it's
shout
doing
it
well,
out.
man.
So first, I'll say this week is a higher run club number than I've seen, or that I remember seeing, is 598 miles for the group. We've had a bunch of folks joining the club, which is awesome. Let me pull it up here. You mentioned Ben. Caleb S joined, and E Nui.
That's who I was going to shout out.
Of winning every prediction contest fame on this show. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the Run Club.
It's just a long con to get him to join the Run Club.
Yeah, and mission accomplished. So don't drink Blatz and join the Run Club.
Yep.
Yeah, so I have not yet ordered my race kits, but if I'm being honest, I'm waiting to hear how they fit. So
yeah, I'm going down either tomorrow or Tuesday whenever Supporter Supply gets some stuff in. And I'm just gonna I got a bunch of cash on hand. I'm just gonna go shopping. I'm like, do you have all of this stuff? I'm just gonna buy a bunch of stuff.
But you guys ordered
Morgan for favors.
Mm-hmm. Trade Star Trek figurines for shirts, as one does.
You guys ordered more. You ordered race kits, yeah?
Oh yeah, me and the lady.
And then I think we have some exciting promo from the Prez forthcoming. So
yeah.
Speaking of, Nelson McCreary ran 73.5 miles last night.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I always feel kind of good about myself, like an average level. But all these people makes me feel like such a loser.
No, they're just awesome people.
I mean, no, I know. I shouldn't look at it that way, but I'm trying to run, and I can't get out the door right now. And
Nelly doesn't have kids.
75 miles and 46 miles, and yeah. It's impressive, man.
It's great. So we're all in a club here with Nelson, who ran 73.5. The president, Stacy, ran 57.
Oh, God, Stacy.
Kevin at long pause on the 57. That's a lot of miles in a week.
It's too many.
Kevin also ran 46.
How are these people not dead?
Nate ran 40. Greg ran 37.
Wait, which Greg?
Maves.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
John ran 35. Notably, no Garys in the top 15. But
good.
They're the worst.
Again,
because of the name.
Miles, man.
Who's the club winner?
The club winner again is Ben. I am gonna be honest. I thought about asking for a pass today because yeah. You're 6 ahead of me. I was gonna ask for a pass to go just run just enough to beat you.
This whole run club is just in spite of each other. It's like an evil battle. It's not a positive thing. It's not like I work out. It's like positive. I'm better than you.
It's awesome.
The vibes are nothing but negative. But so Ben had the 32 miles.
I was at 29.5 on Saturday, and I woke up hungover, and I was like, I gotta get up. I gotta run another couple. So I just ran around the neighborhood. I thought what's funny is I ran really fast, and I thought I ran over 4 miles, and I ran 2.8. I was like, I don't know, man. I'm done.
Yeah.
I just love all the people that are also joining, just saying like, hey, this might be a way to get out more, and they follow the pod want to get out. I think the latest one was Caleb. Shout out to Caleb too that joined us. So it's just all about getting motivated to get out and get moving.
It is,
how I see it is justifying. Like how I see it is kind of like, I run tomorrow, it's okay because then I can have a drink tonight.
Yeah, whatever you gotta do, man.
But in my head, that's how it works.
No, it's awesome, and we have merch. We have merch now, and it's like we're not profiting from it. So it's like I'm just
and neither is Supporter Supply. I was on Into the Cruniverse this week, and they were like, "Oh yeah, plug your podcast." I'm like, "No, I don't give a crap about that." But we have a run club, and we have shirts. And I was like, he's like, "Oh yeah," and I'm like, "Yeah, they're like $21," and I was like, "There's no way Supporter Supply is making money off of it. There's no way. I mean, we're not making anything. It's just like, he's just selling it at cost." Shout out, it's great.
It's cool to represent. And Supporter Supply as always. Get on there. I was wearing my 3-1 crew hat last night at the Fastball Concert.
Cool.
Last night at the Fastball Concert.
So I was pretty popular, but let's talk about the tables.
Tables. Just tables. Tables. But tables. I can't know how to hear any more about tables.
All right, in the Eastern Conference, we've got Miami in first with 62 points, Cincinnati in second with 52 points, your Columbus Crew in third with 50. We got a drop off there to fourth. The Red Bull with 43, Orlando with 40, NYCFC with 40, Charlotte with 38, Toronto with 36, and DC in the last playoff spot with 33.
Whew. The way back.
And
the
supporter shield-wise,
facing the rear station wagon style, DC.
Supporter shield wise, we got Miami, LA Galaxy, Cincy, Columbus, LAFC, Colorado, Real Salt Lake, Seattle, Vancouver, Houston. So the Western Conference is kind of jumping up a little bit.
Yeah, LA's doing. I mean, they're Galaxy's one game ahead and 7 points back. It's 3 games. I mean, they're doing well.
They have 29 games played, so we will, if we win our games in hand, we'll be above Galaxy. But I would say Galaxy right now looks like they're firing all cylinders.
They stomped LAFC.
Yeah. Well, don't stomp. They had a nice comeback from being down 2-0.
They won 4-2. Puig went on. What, he had a goal and 3 assists or something like that.
I know. It's incredible to do that and have your shorts pulled up to your chest.
I hate that so much. And we did
right
not.
to the nipples.
That's the modesty pants. We didn't even talk about the absolute doofus hair that Cincinnati had.
Oh, let's not get into the tangent of hair because we showed up with hair too on that game.
We dyed our hair blonde. We didn't dye it like the Michigan.
Oh, I'm talking about Russell
helmet.
Rowe's new hairdo.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he looked fine. What was up with Yedlin?
He looked like Busy Bone. Yedlin looks like Sideshow Bob.
Like some Bone Thugs.
Yeah, dude. He did look like Busy. But no, they didn't dye his hair. It was a. Oh yeah, yeah.
The one guy had his hair,
and the other guy with the pink hair, but it stopped like right above his ears.
Yeah, Yamil Assad.
To Kentucky.
One looked like a
What
gourd.
is happening?
Methamphetamines.
Let's talk about Toronto. They are currently in 8th in the East. Pretty close to the bottom. You guys ready to do your predictions for that game?
We got to do tables, like our actual tables.
Our predictions tables?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me try that one more time. They're not doing too well. Before we get into our predictions for that game, Mort, will you review the predictions table as it stands now?
Yeah, speaking of not doing too well, none of us obviously got the result right, but 2 of us believed that it would be a tie. So Haas said 2-2, and I said 2-2. That means we get 1 point each. And what that means...
What does that mean?
First of all, now I'm on top with still 24 points. Have a 5-point gap down to Mars and Trey.
Wow.
And then Ben is alone in the basement because Haas has taken a point up from you there. So he's an 18 points.
So I'm the worst
so far.
And 1 point behind Mars and Trey with 19.
And you have 25? Can we fact check that?
24.
Can we get election buddy involved?
Yeah.
We can, and we shouldn't.
Okay.
More spreadsheet.
That's my spreadsheet.
He built it.
It's very complex. You wouldn't understand it.
Okay.
Wait, I'm
spitting facts.
Weird. Yeah, I'm confused. So we have Toronto.
We're going to do our predictions for that. Haas, do you have like their recent form?
Yeah, so they won. They've had a handful of home games lately. They won against Austin yesterday, 2-1. Austin. They lost to DC that was at home, 3-1. They beat, that's Canadian Championship. I'm sorry.
That's where I'm getting hung up. Is like they had Leagues Cup.
They lost to Houston. No, they beat
and they're
Houston.
playing in Canadian Championship.
They beat Forge FC, whatever the Forge that is.
Beat Houston away. Lost to Miami away 4-3.
Yeah, but they played Austin yesterday, and then they hadn't played before that for 2 weeks. Before and then before that,
they actually took a break for the international break. Weird.
Yeah.
Why would teams do that?
Because they didn't win the MLS Cup
and didn't go to the final of the Leagues Cup.
And they have played 29 games.
Yeah. So we have. So we played probably 11 more games than them. Great. Cool. Sweet. Awesome. Rad.
Okay. Well, let's do our predictions for Toronto on Wednesday. Up north. All right, let's talk about D's next
I don't know. I thought
you got to think about that.
I'm already sweating.
Man, I don't even know. Like,
buckle up, Buttercup.
My tongue is sweating.
I'm not good at doing things.
You're dumb.
All right, Ben, you said O2 Crew dudes with a Z on it. Anything to add to that?
Nope.
Mort, you said Toronto Crew 0-1.
Yeah,
as in the Crew wins 1-0.
They're kind of stingy, and we're still not firing on all cylinders. So 1-0.
Wow, if there's ever like a few minutes to talk about it, I do want to kind of chat about our elimination game readiness. Because the playoff, we'll want to talk about the playoff setup as we're getting to the MLS Cup, but we'll see. Okay, Trey, you say 1-2. I cried last time I was in Toronto. Go Crew. Anything you want to add to that?
It was to save the Crew year, and we lost in Toronto, and I cried standing there thinking it was the last time I would see my team play.
Oh, my goodness.
Woo.
True.
It took us to the mountain there, man.
Yep. I literally stood in the aisle as everybody was filtering out, just like drunk as hell, crying. Toronto fans were awesome, to be fair.
You know,
had no idea where I was, but
man to man, I just have to say that's
yeah.
Oh my God! Almost just nosered bourbon.
And you're crying.
Yeah, Haas is out over there recording
you get a tissue,
podcast.
and you get a
Haas
tissue.
says 1-2 Crew.
I think this is the start of our rise,
getting it back together
to power. Yeah, leading into the playoffs, we gotta start somewhere. We gotta get things going.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be Macca, make
Wednesday.
America Crew again.
I agree. I said 1-2 Crew. I typed the exact same characters that you did. It's the same message. 1-2 Crew. Just a reminder, we do our predictions in chat because we can't be trusted to just say them without exploiting and gamifying and frankly cheating. Thanks to one member of this podcast.
It's shocking that 3 people picked the most normal score in soccer.
All right, well, let's not define normal while we sit here. Let's look ahead to the game against Orlando at home. How have they been playing?
Orlando, 5th in the East, 6-5-3 on the road. They took out New England this weekend, 3-0. They took out Nashville, 3-0. And then got beat 3-0 by Kansas City. So I wonder what all of our score predictions are going to be.
What does that mean? But that was also New England without Porter because he was suspended for saying the ref was a coward, amongst other tasty nuggets.
He got suspended for that? I didn't know.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just, I guess you can't just do that. And then I don't think Nashville's that great. They lost to Sporting Kansas City. Well, yeah. And then before that, it was all Leagues Cup. All right. We ready to do this?
You're dumb.
Ooh. Ben, you say 3-1 Crew Orlando.
I forgot to, oh my God, I forgot to type any more things. I had some really funny things to say.
Just say them now. I was going to ask you anyway.
Orlando's really stupid in my opinion. Okay. bunch of dumbs down there in the garden, out there burning books for, whatever happens. I forgot. Did I spell Orlando right? That doesn't look right. I did.
You did. Mort, you say 4-1. 4-1 Crew.
Yep. And it's kind of like to Mars's point, I think we're going to start. This is the start of the what's the word I'm looking for? The rebuild towards the playoff.
Yes, that is what I said.
After I said it.
Yeah, Oz. Nice spike.
Start
Trey,
your own comedy podcast.
Trey. Trey, you said 3-1.
I did. Yep.
Anything to add?
Nope.
Okay. I said 3-1 Crew was on my hat, and it will be the score. I'm out of my mind.
Yeah, we called the ambulance to come pick you up.
Yeah. Haas, you said 3-0 Crew. Ew, girl. Ew, TTOMO.
Ooh, girl. Ooh.
TTOMO.
I
know that this started as
I hear that song everywhere now.
It was on the ads yesterday.
Yeah. During the game. Like the Target ad.
It was like little kittens walking around.
Yeah, but that's not TTOMO.
Well, agree to disagree.
I know. Yep.
We started this podcast as I think you should leave podcast. And I think it's slowly morphing into a Mr. Show podcast.
Yeah. Well, they need to come out with more seasons.
TTOMO is
one.
Yeah, 3 times. What? 2 times 1 minus 1?
3 times 1 minus 1.
3 times 1 minus 1. It's going to be 3-0. Haas says, okay, great. 2-game week. And I think we have many such weeks coming up, right? We're doing like 2 a week for a while.
Yeah. We're playing 100 games this year.
We've
By
got
this year, I mean in the
Campeones
first
Cup
6
coming
months.
up. Yep.
Yeah.
And all right. Well, this is time to find the form. We'll see how we do in Toronto and at home. But until then, we'll talk to you guys in a week. Go Crew.
Go!
What time is it?
It's good time.
Where's the girl? I love you.
Thanks everyone for joining the club. We hope you'll listen next week and every week, even in the off season, to celebrate or commiserate. We'll save you a seat. If you like this podcast, please give us 5 stars and subscribe. You can email us at upper90clubpod@gmail.com. That's upper90clubpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at upper90clubpod. Go Crew! Something, Space Cowboy, and then like calls for the whole crowd to do the whoop whoop.